coming up right now is Ask the Consul. And thanks for staying with us. Yes, on a Wednesday, every other Wednesday, we have officials from the United States Embassy here to answer your questions and to give you information relating to visa matters and migrating to the United States of America. And let's see who we have now. We have Consular Officers Brian Jandorf.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Just fine. How are you today?
Not bad. And we have also Chuck Bennett.
Good morning. Happy belated New Year.
Hey, it's good to have both of you. Chuck, how long you been here now?
Well, I've been in Jamaica
years
now
or months?
For about a year and a half. In that time, I've done maybe 10,000 visas.
Wow.
Exactly. And I also now do what's called American Citizen Services for all of the Jamaican Americans residing in Jamaica and visiting, for all the tourists coming to visit the beautiful island. It's been quite an exciting year and a half.
So tell me a little bit about what your work involves, because you're not now directly involved in dealing with visa applications.
That's correct.
Yes.
I started out doing visas, as I mentioned, and now I do what's called American Citizen Services. We do a whole array of we work with all kinds of U.S. citizens who are, like I said, living in Jamaica. These can be traditional expatriates, these can be Jamaican Americans, and these are tourists. We help them out with passports. If a child is born in Jamaica, but maybe a U.S. citizen, we document that child. It's very exciting. It's amazing to see so many U.S. citizens in Jamaica, Jamaican Americans, how close our peoples have become.
So if somebody a couple is in Jamaica, and they have a young one. That young one would be a Jamaican by birth, but would also be an American because their parents are Americans? Help me understand that.
That's correct. If both parents are U.S. citizens,
right,
the child's going to be a U.S. citizen. And if only one parent is, there's a good chance that the child is also a U.S. citizen, depending on how long the U.S. citizen parent had lived in the United States before coming to Jamaica.
Okay.
So we bring them down to the embassy, we have a nice talk with them, and we can determine if their child was a citizen at birth.
Okay, that's
very
quite interesting.
Yeah.
So many persons don't even realize that you offer all those services. So we'll talk some more about that. But we have a caller right now. Let's go to this caller. Good morning. How you do?
Good morning.
At your service.
Okay, I am Miss Main calling about an issue by the embassy.
Yes, but I guess you should have, but there's no need to call your name, and they were just looking at the issue generally. So anyhow, go ahead, you see.
Okay, sweetie. I'm sorry. Yes, I went up there 3 times, and I went up there the 12th of December, and it's just a little thing I didn't get through, and it's so much money. So I would like to know what I must do again. If I can't grant with the visa. They asked me the 3 questions.
Brian, you want to deal with
Certainly. Good morning, and a belated Happy New Year to you. I'm sorry that you left the embassy disappointed. When you come in for your interview, the officer has information that you've provided on your application, and the interview is meant to be sure that you qualify for the visa under U.S. law. And if you are not successful in obtaining the visa, we always welcome you to reapply in the future. You should be provided with a sheet that explains U.S. immigration law to you, and if you feel that conditions have changed in your life or that you feel that you are more qualified now to obtain the visa than you were the first time, we always welcome you to reapply.
Yes, 3 times. I went up there other than Christmas. I thought I didn't get through. So what time I could try back again?
Well, you're welcome to reapply anytime you like, but we don't recommend that you do it too soon. Allow a little bit of time and allow some things to change in your life.
Like as a year or so forth?
Yes, ma'am. I can't tell you there is no specific time, but it's a question of using your judgment and just figure out if you think you'll have a better chance next time you come in.
So I can meet at your office, please?
No, there's an email address, gentlemen.
Yes, there is, and I'd like to add something too afterwards. But if everyone has their pen and pencils handy, for any kind of visa inquiries regarding a non-immigrant visa, this would be what's called a visitor's visa. That's Kingston NIV at state.gov. And any questions regarding a filing, this is to live in the U.S. for a green card or to become a citizen, that is Kingston IV at state.gov.
All right, you got that address then?
Yes, right. I was just visiting.
Okay, then Kingston NIV at state.gov is for you with any specific inquiries.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thanks. All the best. We have Miss G now on the line. Miss G, how you doing?
Hi, good morning. Not so bad. Happy New Year to you and your police officers.
Thank you.
I have a visitor's visa, and why I really call, I want to know if I want a work permit, if I could have a work permit visa, along with that.
Hi, Ms. G, how are you?
Not too bad.
So you
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, thank you.
Yeah.
So if I understand correctly, you already have a visitor's visa, correct?
Yes, I was very successful last year.
Okay. It wasn't very difficult to get the visitor's visa, was it? You just came in, you introduced yourself, you said you want to do, and then they said okay, right?
I didn't have any problem when I get mine. But I want to know now if, although I have a visiting visa, if I can get a work permit visa.
Now, what do you mean by a work permit visa?
Like if you go to the state, I'd like to work.
Well, there's one option where you actually find the job first while you're in Jamaica.
Okay.
There are companies that do the recruiting.
Okay.
And if they find the job for you and you're qualified for it, then you come to the embassy and you apply for the special visa that allows you to work specifically for this company.
Okay. That's what I want to know. Thank
and that visa, your work visa, has no impact on your visitor's visa. They're two separate things.
It's two separate things.
Yes.
I don't want to do anything funny, and I want to do it the right way.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
And that's the right way to do it. The right way. All right.
Not violating.
Exactly. You have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
All
now,
the best then.
I just add that her situation is actually very common. Many people like to work in the U.S. when they do have jobs in the U.S. And off season, when their jobs tend to just be for 6 to 9 months at a time, they come back to the U.S., and then it's when they visit family, they go shopping. It's a very common situation, and that's the right way to go about doing it.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Chuck, right?
That's Chuck Bennett.
Okay. All right, then we have now Mr. Davis online. Good morning, Mr. Davis. How you doing?
Good morning again. Good morning, gentlemen. Happy New Year.
Same to you, Mr. Davis. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Glad to have you in Jamaica.
Thank you.
Now, I think all my life, I'm 58 years old. I've been to the embassy about twice or 3 times. And I just want to really ask a question. I've been hearing from you, even just a while ago, you said it to a lady, one of the callers, that if you are qualified, but you never stipulate what are the qualifications, and so people cannot meet that qualification. In my estimation, I believe it is only left up to the consulate to decide whether or not I want you to go.
By the way, have you been listening to the... Hold for me, hello? Have you been listening to the program for a very long time?
Well, I heard part of the program.
All right, let me tell you, probably we just, gentlemen, just remind our listener, although I know you have said it before, what if you want to visit the States, there are certain things that you should make sure. The first thing I can tell you, must travel with your document of truth. So, you want to help us call about in terms of what...
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, once again, as we tell applicants who come in for the visitor visa, the B1, B2 visa, there's a lot of information that you've provided on your application, so the officer is aware of quite a bit of information that pertains to your case. And when you come in for your interview, the officer is making a final determination as to whether you qualify for this visa under U.S. law. And the officer uses judgment, experience, the information that's been provided, and the way that the interview goes to make that determination. I can't comment on any specific case because it's an officer decision, and all I can say is that the success rate of applicants in Jamaica is generally quite good. The majority of applicants do get their visas, and it's an officer decision that's made.
I am saying that it left up to the consulate because you fill out the application, you meet the things with your qualification according to you as the applicant, you carry this or that to prove that yet you say, oh, we're not giving you.
Yeah, but hold on, sir. We have to leave it. But hold on, sir. You have to understand that it is it's their discretion, so they have to make that decision.
So
nobody
else. Really, the qualification as put forth as said, but rather.
It sounds like you're hold on. You sound like you're putting a spin on things, you know. No, man, you're putting a spin. It's like you go somewhere, and before you go through the door, you must make sure you have certain things in place. There's no guarantee when you go there. All right, you get it. So that's how life works in any country, including Jamaica.
Yeah, and I
do know that,
excuse me, sir?
But I'm speaking on a general case that it is left up to
all right, I think we get the point, but I hope you understand, because if you want that visa, you have to understand how they function, because if you don't, and you don't appreciate it, then you might stand it, you might not get it, so you have to understand that.
And I do understand how they function.
All right.
You know, it can be more specific when you're speaking.
Well,
you know?
Keep on listening to the program, so I'm sure you're going to continue to learn.
All right, sir.
All right, have a wonderful day.
And gentlemen, have a good day.
Yes, all the best.
Yeah,
okay, let's go now to...
I'd like to just add one thing on the last caller. When he talked about being qualified is all about demonstrating strong ties to Jamaica. And that happens through the interview. And every person who's applying for the visa, you should have a very frank discussion with the consular officer. Speak in full sentences, answer the questions directly. Not a simple yes, no, visit. And there's also no magic piece of paper that will let you get a visa. There's no specific income level. I hope it doesn't mean that when you say qualified, I hope it doesn't mean that it's like you're a doctor. So you're qualified to be a doctor, so you can practice. And
another important consideration, too, and this is for the benefit of all of our listeners, and that is that the consul has to be convinced that the visa is going to be used correctly in accordance with the law.
So if you think you're qualified and you're not convincing, then you have a challenge. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying you're going to have a challenge, but we've encouraged everyone to go onto our website, kingston.usembassy.gov, and that actually explains what it means to be qualified, and it explains what the law is that we follow. And there's no secret formula that we have.
Right.
When we're at the computer screens typing notes, we're looking at the information that the applicants filled out in their application, and we're typing down what they say. And there's no magic words that will make you get a visa or have us say you're not qualified at this time.
Right. All right, we have another caller, Mesret. Mesret. Good morning, Mesret. How are you doing? Good to have you.
Good morning. I'm fine. I just have a question for the embassy officials from the U.S.
Go ahead.
I'm a medical student who has classes in Russia beginning February, right? I had applied for, I need a visa to transit through the U.S. to my destination, and I applied online, and the earliest date I got was the 29th of January, and our class is starting the following week. So I emailed the emergency visa email address to the U.S. Embassy, but I haven't got an reply as yet. So I was wondering, is it a situation where they won't reply if I wasn't granted an emergency appointment or what?
Oh, I'm sorry if you didn't get an immediate response. I would definitely encourage you to send another email, and also send it to the general email box, kingstonniv@state.gov, and mention that you're on the radio program today.
Okay.
And we'll try to get you sorted out, okay? And that's very excited. Good luck to you with your medical studies.
And dress warm.
Thank you.
Yes, that's a good advice there. All right. Well, there you have it there. But also, I'm sure she can probably go through if things are running late, but then probably too late to probably go via the United Kingdom. I don't know, but I'm sure she can try other countries also.
Well, we can cross that bridge if we get to that, but let's see.
What can work?
Let's see if
it sounds like that she would have a very good chance of getting the transit visa, but yes, going through the UK is an option, as there is direct service from Kingston to there.
But we're always partial to flying American Airlines, US-based airlines anyways. We like when people use our airports. We've got great shopping in them. We've got great restaurants at our airports. So.
Yes. Now, I have here, I see you guys have something coming up. I have a dream for an inclusive Jamaica. And it looks like if my listener has a dream to get something, this is something that they should participate in. You want to tell me about this? It says the Embassy of the United States of America, Kingston, Jamaica presents I Have a Dream for an Inclusive Jamaica.
Yes, it's actually very exciting.
Yes.
It's I want all the students and parents to listen up. This is for us, all students between the ages of 13 and 19. It's the Martin Luther King Jr. Essay Contest. And what it is we want the students to write an essay, a short essay between 500 to 1,000 words, based on Martin Luther King's iconic speech, I Have a Dream. But this is I Have a Dream for an Inclusive Jamaica. So these words that weren't just an inspiration to the civil rights movement, but have become a worldwide inspiration.
Right.
We want students to read it and think about, what does this mean for Jamaica? And tell us about it. And once they can submit their essay to us, and then we're going to have a panel at the embassy judge it, as well as we're going to post them all online and have the general public vote on them in Facebook.
Really?
Yes, it's very exciting.
That should be very exciting.
So every essay is going to get read by us and the public at large. And then we have, of course, we have prizes. So the winner, who's judged by the panel at the embassy, gets an iPad. And
an iPad? So I would love to enter. I am old.
Are you a student?
Student between 13 and 19.
Yes.
And the person who wins the popular vote, they'll get a tablet computer. And what's really
cool... And a
cool,
tablet in terms of what the doctor gives you, a tablet in terms of a computer. Can you imagine that?
A tablet computer, it's similar to an iPad.
Wow.
And what's even, what I find really cool, too,
Yes.
is the embassy is also going to make a donation of library books to your school. So you're going to be remembered for a long time afterwards when there's a collection of books donated because of your essay about Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech.
Well, for those schools who have a dream of getting some books, they should encourage their students to enter this competition, the I Have a Dream for an Inclusive Jamaica. I love that topic, you know, the MLKJ, that stands for Martin Luther King Jr. essay competition. Chuck, you're going to say something?
It's Brian here.
Sorry, Brian.
It's also a good time to reflect on the significance of Dr. King, and as we look at this holiday, this federal holiday that's in the United States on Monday. And it's a good time to reflect on his writings, his philosophies, the impact that he had not only on the United States to make it a much better country than it was, but also worldwide in terms of motivating people to strive to have inclusive societies and just to make sure that no group is marginalized in any one society.
All right, tell you what, we're going to go for the break, and I'm sure when we come back we have some more information to give me, so you just stay with us. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. It's Ask the Consul. When we come back, we will continue to take your calls. The landline numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372. Welcome back. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. We have Stacy on the line. Let's go to Stacy. Stacy, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad.
Good to have you.
All right. I've got
Consul Officers Brian John Dorf and Chuck Bennett.
Hi, Stacy. How are you?
Hi, Stacy. Good morning.
Hi, I'm not too bad. Morning. All right. I've got the same questions as a few of the callers that have called. Okay, I have tried twice at the embassy, and I've been going to the States since I was a little child, even went to school there, and I was denied twice, and I really don't understand. I mean, I've never overstayed, never worked illegally in the country, so I don't understand why I was denied. I'm working here in Jamaica. I'm even going to school. So I just wanted to know your idea. Should I try again?
Well, again, it's impossible for us to comment on specific cases, and we can only go by the general guidelines in accordance with U.S. immigration law. In addition to the email address that my colleague gave, another good reference is travel.state.gov. And that's an excellent reference to look at visa qualifications, what is required for different types of visas. And again, it's just a question of the officer being convinced that the visitor visa will be used correctly and that your ties to your home country are such that the visa will be used correctly as well. You are always welcome to reapply at any time, but as I like to urge applicants, don't do it too soon, and just be sure that there's been some sort of change in your life that may demonstrate better qualification for the visa at the time of your interview.
Okay.
All right, thanks. And you have a wonderful day.
Same to you guys.
Okay, then let's now go to another listener, Desmond. How you doing? Good morning.
Yeah, morning. What I'd like, in case there had been an infraction or a misuse of a visa, and the person was refused or sent back or whatever it is, what did it understand that there needs to be a waiver? How is a waiver applied for, and how long does it take?
Well, that's an excellent question. There are waivers available for people being filed for by family members in the U.S. This would be for an immigrant visa. Is this what you're inquiring about, sir?
No, a violation of U.S. law. Let me use that word.
What kind of visa do you want? Do you want a visiting visa, or do you want
the person had U.S. visa.
Yes.
But violated that.
This was a visiting visa. So this was a visiting visa, correct?
That's right. It was for a visitor visa, and it had been canceled.
And it was why was it canceled?
Well, I really don't know. I'm just speaking on behalf of somebody. But generally, we understand that a waiver is required. How does that? What's the process?
Well, what I'm trying to, I'm understanding him. When it says waiver, I understand that if you committed an offense, that might be dealt with differently. But when he says waiver, I'm not too sure.
I think what he's asking is some people will have their visas canceled or revoked.
Yes.
It may be by people at the embassy. It may be by border control at the airports for a misuse of the visa.
Yes, by border
They can reapply for the visa, and at the time they can, if they're qualified for the visa, they can ask for a waiver. If the consular officer believes that a waiver was appropriate, the consular officer will submit the request on the applicant's behalf back to Washington, D.C. at the Department of Homeland Security, and they will make the decision. And that can take several months. But without knowing the nature of the infraction, I really can't get it more specific than that. But there is a procedure. Any other, if they want to have, if your associate, your friend, your family member has a specific question, of course, they can always email us at kingstonniv@state.gov, and we can point him or her in the right direction to do some more research.
Okay, that Kingston NIV
at state.gov.
At state.gov. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Right. You have a wonderful day. All right, let's go to another caller now. Marcia. How you doing, Marcia? Good to have you, man.
Thank you, and good morning to you all.
Which area are you calling from? Which parish?
Kingston.
Oh, Kingston. Go ahead.
All right. My question is, I have a 4-year-old child who was denied a visitor's visa because her dad has a green card. Actually twice she was denied. The first time he took her to get the visa, but he didn't bring my passport, so they told him that he should have brought my passport along. However, a year later, I took her, and they told me that they couldn't give her the visa because he's a green card holder. But we don't want her to live in the U.S. just yet. Just want her to visit.
Well, I'll try to answer your question for you. And it may sound a little bit strange at this point, but the visa was not denied because her father is a green card holder, but it's a question of what the officer perceives to be the intent of travel. And again, it's a question of the officer being convinced that the child is qualified for the visa, that there's an incentive for the child to return to his or her home country, and that the visa won't be misused. And that is the overriding consideration that every officer applies when an interview is conducted.
And if I could add, Brian, there are, and this is important for everyone who's listening, someone can have an active filing and have a non-immigrant visa, visiting visa at the same time. It's not one or the other. So there's no hard and fast rule regarding that. So your child's visa was not denied because the father has a green card. I don't know why the child was denied, but there might have been concerns about perhaps a line jumping, something to get the child in the U.S. to live there permanently. So
No.
But by the way, the officer told you that?
Yes, because
specifically that the child was being denied because the father has a green card?
Yes, she's not qualified for
No, man. Hold on.
Well, I'm sorry if that was may have been misinterpreted or misunderstood, but again, every visiting visa case is considered by the officer based on the requirements of the U.S. immigration law. And just because her father has a green card or is a legal permanent resident in the United States, that would not be exclusionary in and of itself.
And children are always getting visas. They're going up to Disney. They're going on school trips. They're competing in competitions. So we encourage people who are interested in traveling to the U.S. to apply for the visas and just be very frank about what your intent is for your travel.
But I thought I made a mistake because I have a visa, and because of that, now I have not traveled for 6 years since I got my 10-year visa because I don't want to leave her. Because I would have to leave her with a stranger.
Yeah, but you heard what the officer said then. So it's clear to me. I was surprised because I know that the officer really should not have told you that, but they are saying that's not done. So there must be some other reason. All right?
Well,
it means therefore the child, it means therefore, as they said before, you have to convince the officers there that that person will come back to Jamaica.
Okay, so could I go ahead and reapply? You think
yes.
Would that make sense?
When you, if you'd like to reapply, you're welcome to reapply, but as we tell all applicants, it's usually when circumstances have changed, where the reason why you want to travel and that you want to travel with the child, that should be consistent, of course, but we want to hear more about what the personal situation is and how it's different from the last interview that you had at the embassy.
All right?
Okay.
All the best, then. You have a wonderful day. Okay, let's now go now to Janet. Janet, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Good to have you. Which parish are you calling from?
I'm from St. Catherine, Portmore.
Praise the Lord, because it says, look at all the world people them abandon us this morning.
Okay. I have two quick questions. Good morning, counselors.
Good morning.
Okay, the first one is, I have a daughter who has been in the U.S. from a child. She was supposed to be calling. I don't know if she did before. Also, and she has been there for over 5 years on a school visa while having her 10-year visa. She got a year work permit after finishing her school visa. She worked. I myself went back up and we both came home together. Now, visa, the 10-year visa has expired. And 2 years after, she went to renew and was denied. I'm a little bit surprised that this happens because, I mean, being in the States for over 5 years, worked 1 year, come home, stay before 2 years for reapplying, it shows that this person doesn't have the desire to live in the States. So, I'm really surprised that she was denied a visa. And I'm wondering, why is it, or does it make sense reapplying after trying twice and she was turned down? Is it that the person has been flagged for some reason? Shouldn't the applicant be told? I'm left puzzled.
Well, not necessarily. It sounds to me, without knowing the specifics of your daughter's case, it sounds as if she was in the United States on a student visa.
Right, she was.
And the student visa is granted when the requirements for that type of visa, I assume it's an F1 visa, were met, showing that she's enrolled in an accredited institution, full-time course of study, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just kind of curious, how old is your daughter?
She's 25, she's 28 now.
Okay, and when she came back to Jamaica, I mean, has she established herself independently in a employment where she's self-supporting and so forth?
She's working now with the in an aviation school, which is a course that she did overseas. The only thing she did not complete was her flight hours, which she's doing now at the aviation school.
Okay. Well, I would say that again, when a person applies for a visitor visa, this is a completely different type of visa than was the student visa. Obviously, your daughter met the requirements of the student visa, and it was granted, and she successfully completed her course of study and returned to Jamaica. Now she's applying for a visitor visa, which has a whole different set of requirements.
No, it's a renewal because she had also a visitor's visa.
Oh, I see. Okay. The only thing I can say is that as I've said before, that each time someone comes in for an interview, their personal situation and their circumstances are reviewed by the officer. And if the officer feels that that person is qualified for the visa, it will be granted. I obviously can't comment on the specifics of your daughter's case, but a reapplication is always possible.
But why aren't we at times sometimes given the opportunity to, explain or to know why? A standard letter given to all applicants doesn't say anything.
Well, I think you asked that question, which is a policy question, and I don't think, gentlemen, am I correct?
That's correct. We're limited to what we can say. Otherwise, it would be a sense of coaching someone.
Right.
And it's not fair to everyone else. Mm-hmm. And also, we don't want people to keep doing trial runs as if this time I'll say what they think is the magic words, and these magic words don't exist.
Right. Yeah, the sheet that's given gives an overview of immigration law and how it applies to the visa process, and that applies to most every case rather than dealing with any case specifically.
And basically, it's a discretionary matter based upon what you observe. So I guess we probably just have to accept your decision when it is made.
And they're very tough decisions.
Yes, it is.
And it's very difficult, and it's very hard when we do have to tell someone that at this time they're not qualified for a visa. And we're very sympathetic to people's situations.
Yeah, we have to go now, though, you see. So I want to thank you very much. You say all the best, and you have a good day. Wish you all the success next time you try.
Best of luck.
All the best. Welcome back. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. It's a feature, Ask the Consul. And guess what? We're coming near to the end, but we don't think we'll be able to take any more calls. But we have to tell you about the I Have a Dream for an Inclusive Jamaica. We started to tell you about it, and I think there's a deadline coming up. Who'll tell us so?
That's true. I'd mentioned I Have a Dream contest before, and I'm sure all of the teachers, parents, some of the students who are listening are dreaming about winning that contest. So I got a little more information for everyone. Please get your pens and pencils handy. The deadline is January 19th, so we need submission by January 19th, and it's submitted via email. It's Kingston Exchanges at state.gov.
That's Kingston
Exchanges at state.gov.
At state.gov.
And everyone needs to enter
Make
their...
sure I have it correct. So it's Kingston Exchange, EXCHANGE.
Exchanges with
Exchanges.
an S.
Oh, so there's a ES. Make sure you have that down. It's correct. Kingston Exchanges at state.gov.
That's correct.
Right.
And be sure to include your name, age, gender, and the name of your school. And we're looking forward to reading all of these submissions.
And of course, I know you have a website that you can go to and get some more information.
Sure. Again, our website's kingston.usembassy.gov. There's a wealth of information about this contest, all matters of visas, American Citizen Services. Everything that we do is up on that website. Again, it's kingston.usembassy.gov.
There you have it. The United States Embassy presents I Have a Dream for an Inclusive Jamaica. It's the MLKJS competition. The deadline is Monday, January 19, 2015. The competition is open to students 13 to 19 years, Jamaican nationals only. SS should describe the writer's dreams for the future of an inclusive Jamaica. SS should be inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech in the Jamaican context. Entries must be in English, 500 to 1,000 words, and be the original work of the writer. And it says, let us on Facebook allow us, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. So you check it out and you submit your essays to Kingston Exchanges at state.gov. .gov. Include your name, age, gender, and name of your school. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Brian Jandorf, got it right? And Chuck Bennett.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
It's always a pleasure being here, and thank you to all your listeners and all the callers who informed us today.
And we look forward to do it again a week after next, Wednesday, same time, same place. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. Gentlemen, have a wonderful day. Gentlemen, have a wonderful day. Gentlemen, have a wonderful day. Gentlemen.